Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to Tom Clark's Main Event. I'm your host, Tom Clark. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in today. Hope everyone's having a great Friday. Yes, indeed. Happy Friday to you, one and all. This is episode number 192. Your boy's back and live and in living color. We had a false start. If anybody tuned in like right after 12, you saw the quick 30-second countdown start. And then suddenly I realized the headset was plugged into the laptop, not the PC. I've got two computers happening, a TV, an iPad, a phone. It's I am multimedia over here. So yes, didn't even give the regular show opening. That's how befuddled I am this morning/afternoon. So let's get some stuff up on the screen. Let's do what we do here. If you are only listening to the show and not watching, man, are you missing some fun stuff? We go live most every Friday right here on Wrestling Rumors Facebook Live. So, yeah, you should totally check us out, man. 9 times out of 10, we're right at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a blast here, man. We have our usual cast of characters who I'm sure are showing up in droves right now to say hello and good morning. And let's go ahead and talk to some of these good folks here this morning. The first one that kicked us off, of course, was Sandy in Germany. What's up? Shane, what's going on? Brad, what's going on, brother? Go Vikes. Carlos, what's happening, my friend? Hello, Aaron. Well, thanks for coming back, bro. Shannon, what's going on? Thanks for showing up today. I appreciate you. Miss Lopez, doing great. Hope you are doing great as well. Hello, Bit. How are you, my friend? We can start the show today because Belinda's here. What's going on, Belinda? DeMarco, what's going on, my friend? Everything's going great here. Montrese with the best name ever. Happy Friday to you as well. David Griffiths, David in Down Under, Port Prairie, South Australia. Brother, every time you say hello to us, we're doing fantastic, man. As you guys and gals know, I'm a sucker for viewers from other countries. I can't quite explain it. I'm fascinated by time and space. Yeah, I am what I am. I is what I is. What's up, Eddie? Will, what's going on, my friend? Josh, what's happening? Ray Dean, Adam Cole, baby. I said it before you did. Ha! What's up? Brendan, going great, my friend. Hope everything's going great for you as well. Robbie, where are you? Robbie, wishing my son Wesley a happy belated birthday. Yes, sir. Turning 12. Thank you for that. Victor, what's going on, bro? Glad to see you're here. Hello, Jim in Chicago. Yeah, man. Marcus is already asking us questions. Marcus, I got news for you, brother. I run this show here, pal. And because I run this show, I decide when we talk about Roman Reigns. Got that? Screw it. Let's talk about him. He was actually the first topic on the docket, as it were. So, man, are you a prognosticator or what? Big show, lots to talk about. Yes, we're kicking off with the big dog himself. Roman Reigns is your new WWE Universal Champion. Roman has done the unthinkable. He once again is heel. Did you guys see this coming? No, I had no indication he was going to be joining forces with Heyman on TV. It's pretty cool. I have to be honest with you. If they were going to do this, now's the time to do it. Okay? Now's the time to do it. Because if you had turned Roman when the live crowds were there and made him cool, he would have been cheered. And then it would have backfired. So you do it now when there's no live audience to react to it. That's my take on this. So yes, what is your thoughts on Roman becoming not only the new Universal Champion, but the latest heel on WWE roster? And by the way, there's bunches of them in that company right now. Thank you, Shannon. My kid had a very good birthday. Thank you much. Dennis in New Brunswick, Canada. What's up, brother? Thank you, my friend. Let's see. Jim says no, but I like it. Talking about the move, yes. Brendan says not yet. I was waiting for him turning on someone. But you know, Brendan, honestly, who would he have turned on? What major baby faces are on Monday Night Raw right now? Dominic Mysterio? No disrespect, but what? I mean, baby faces are in short supply in that company right now. It's the age of the heel for whatever reason. Mike has asked me a whole bunch of questions about Retribution. We'll tie it into Roman. Any truth to the rumor that Roman will be revealed as the leader of the Retribution? Mike, here's my question for you, my friend. I will answer your question with a question of my own. It's what Jesus did. I'm just saying. So here's I'm going to throw this at you. What is the end game for Roman Reigns being the leader of Retribution? What is the point? Do you know what I mean? What is the goal of that? Listen, applying logic to an illogical situation, because we all know pro wrestling is a highly illogical situation, yes? What is the point of Roman Reigns being the leader of Retribution? What's the end game there? What would be his reasoning? Talking about a pro wrestling perspective here, folks. What would be his reasoning for turning heel? Can you give me something good? Because honestly, I don't know how to answer that. I don't have a good one, if I'm being straight with you. I guess in WWE speak, they can call it whatever they want to call it, and they can do whatever they want to do, and it's all good to everyone there, and they don't care, and everything they do is amazing, and they're living in denial like, a lot of other people are. So I'm sure they'll come up with something, but will you care? What would be a reasonable explanation for you? Mike, I'm not just posing it to you, bro. I'm posing it to everybody. What would be a reasonable explanation to you that Roman Reigns would supposedly turn his back on the fans and side with someone who led a guy into battle with him, the guy meaning Brock Lesnar? The word on the street is that Brock Lesnar is a free agent now, right? No longer officially tied to Vince McMahon and WWE. So with that being the case, Paul needs a new monster. He's got a big dog now instead of a beast incarnate. But why in the world would Roman choose to align himself with Paul Heyman? What is your theory? What's up, Timothy? Glad to see you, man. Let's see. Sheree in California, what's going on? Let's see. Juanito Luis Rodriguez says Roman Reigns as a heel world champion is best for business. Thank you, Ben. I'll let him know. Appreciate that. Yeah, what do you guys think? Let's see. One who says Roman Reigns won't be the leader of Retribution because they're exclusively to Raw now. Interesting. Maybe. Miss Lopez says best for business. Let's see. Will says if Brock comes back, do you think Paul will turn on Roman? Too early to know that right now, if I'm being honest with you. And let's say he signed a new deal tomorrow. There's no chance. I don't think. Why would you? It would kill Roman's, I don't want to say push. It would kill Roman's program right now. His new, the new swerve on his character, I guess you could say. But yeah, why do that? You know what I mean? 6 months down the road, we'll talk about it. But let me ask you a question, because I'm doing that today. All right. Do you really care about Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns part 5? What would that be? 4 or 5 matches, whatever. Do you really want to see that? Just asking a question, man. Mike says Roman could say to management, a big F you. And he could lead a group of guys who've been held down by Vince and company. But who are the guys? And why would he be turning on Vince and company? I need a good concrete reason. And it doesn't have to be what's going to end up being the case or whatever they try to sell you. I'm just curious to know what you think. What do you believe would be a logical reason for Roman to align himself with the guy that, again, brought the beast incarnate into war with him? Carlos says, heard the Jericho say online that Lesnar will go back to WWE because of the money. WWE will offer more. They can offer more than anybody else right now, for sure, except for the UFC. But, I mean, if Brock wanted to fight, I think Brock would have fought a long time ago. Timothy, we'll get to the AEW card. I promise you, my friend. I promise you. Retribution is NXT call-ups. Ooh, Jim, I don't hate that at all. Brendan says Heyman is the perfect mouthpiece for Roman's heel run. Yeah, because you know what you got to do with Roman? Get him off the stick. What they should have done years ago. Get that dude off the mic. I like Roman. I am not a fan of Roman. Okay? I never have been not a fan of Roman. You know what I mean. So anyway, but yeah, man, I'm good with Roman. Totally good with him. So I don't get the okay. All right, let me rewind for just a sec. I get the criticism. The typical stereotypical line of Roman was shoved down our throats every day. Well, guess what? He totally was. Okay. Most people didn't like it. Even though if you knew what it was and you saw why, maybe you hated it and maybe you booed him as a result. Not fair to him. Kind of silly, but that's what happened, right? It is what it is. So, yeah, I'm good with him being off the stick. I'm good with Heyman being with him. Mike, it's all good, man. I don't think I have one either. But again, dude, we're trying to apply logic to an illogical company. Chad's got one. Chad says there's no reason for Roman to align himself with Retribution. And Chad, by your logic, is there any reason for anyone to align themselves with Retribution? I don't think so. DeMarcus says, I hate they let Bray Wyatt and Sasha Banks win title and lose it within a month. That's what they do, bro. That's what they do. I know it's lame. Eric Young is the new Impact World Champion. Very true, Mark. Very true. Brent says Tom getting messages from it. Man, that is one storyline that could not have died fast enough for me. Oh. Bit says I heard that John Cena could possibly be the leader of Retribution. Okay, all right. Bit, I'll pose the same question I posed to Mark earlier. But to what end? Let's say that you're for it, or you think it's a good idea. I don't know if you do or not. If you think it's a good idea, what is the reasoning behind it? See what I'm saying? The Shield made sense. The Shield ideology was, we're not going to come in as rookies. We're not going to come in as the new faces to the main roster. We're not going to be pushed around or hazed. We're going to come in. We're going to take over. We're doing this. We're flipping the script, and we're taking this, by its guts, and we're going to make this thing our own. And we're going to make you deal with us. And we're going to make you notice us. You're going to see us no matter what. And this is our show now. I can get behind that because it makes sense. The Nexus made sense. Totally made sense. We're tired of getting pushed around. We're tired of getting treated like children. We're tired of getting treated like nobodies. That's not right. This will be right. This is the thing that we're going to do. Now you have to deal with us. What's Retribution's message? I like Toru Yano in New Japan. There you go, Shane. That's for you. Right? Because I don't know. I don't know what the message is. Shannon says, remember, suffering succotash. That's why he needs Heyman. Heyman can talk. Roman just needs to be silent. Just kill everyone in his path. I couldn't agree more. Elvis says, I believe Tom Clark is the leader of Retribution. Brother, I have been found out. Roman deserved it, never lost it. Neither did Balor. So, well, Toby, you got a point. You got a point. Do you think Paul Heyman will try to put the Usos and Roman as the new Shield? I don't think he should do a new Shield. Honestly, I don't think there's a point to it. You know what I mean? I mean, why do that? Why dredge up the past? Of course, it's WWE. They dredge up the past every day, right? No, I don't believe it's a good idea to rename the Usos and Roman Reigns as the Shield. I think we've been there, done that. Why go through it again? I don't think there's any good reason for it, if I'm being honest with you. It is what it is. So let Roman and just run with Paul for as long as he can. Have fun with it, man. Ray says, when will Raw Underground stop? It's horrible. Ray, from your lips to the ears of God, my friend. So, yeah, we can always circle back to Roman if you want to. Let's touch on another subject that's happening currently on WWE's main roster. Keith Lee's excellent adventure or bogus journey. Here's the part again where I ask you for your honest feedback. What do you think about Keith Lee thus far on WWE's main roster? Don't hold back here. Tell me what you honestly think. You think it's a good move? It's a good idea? I mean, what is it that you guys think? Let me tell you what I think. I told you guys at the very beginning, I'd be shocked if they knew how to deal with Keith Lee, if they knew how to book him, to handle him correctly. Guess what? I've not been disappointed yet. Keith just, by no fault of his own, in my opinion, it just feels weird. That's just me. It just feels weird. Yes, he's been thrust into the spotlight. Yes, he automatically, on week 2, competed for a title shot for the WWE Championship. Wow. Yes, he beat Randy Orton in 6 minutes. Wow. Great stuff. But they've covered him up. They won't cover up Otis. Get it. They won't cover up Otis, who looks like a truck driver. They can't stop drinking beer. All due respect to Otis. I got much love for Otis. No disrespect. They won't cover that guy up. They'll cover up Keith Lee, who is a chunk of rock. Okay? My God, he's a huge piece of granite. But they won't. They want to cover him up, but they won't cover up Otis. Why exactly? Why is that? Again, thoughts, opinions on Keith Lee. Mark says Keith Lee should have stayed in NXT. No offense to Cross, but it made no sense to take title off him so quick. I agree. Shane says Keith Lee is becoming a joke on the main roster. Yeah, I agree with that too. Biz says it is a good move. I love Keith Lee. Okay. Thomas says I think Keith Lee is a good fit if they use him right. Brother, you can say that about everybody there, right? Well, fingers crossed, man. Toby says distribution is way too similar to the ruining the country right now, which is what they were going for. Ray says, hate Keith Lee's shirt and horrible music. Completely agree. Brad says, completely horrible. David Griffiths, David from Down Under says, Wade Barrett is the leader of Retribution. That's why he's back on commentary. Oh my God, David. Let's show that again. Wade Barrett did lead the Nexus at one point. This moment of silence brought to you by Tom Cart's Main Event. David, that's good. Wow, that's good. That's really good. If he's not the leader, they just need to make him the leader because it makes the most sense. I really like that. David, well done. Shane says Keith Lee has all the talent in the world, and next month he will be used on the undercard. I have to agree. I hate to say it, but I think you might end up being right. Cherie says, just as long as they don't make him a funny man or a clown, just use him as the powerhouse he is, they will have a winning product. Cherie, I said last week that we're going to take Keith Lee and put him in a funny hat and make him dance. I still think it's coming. It's only week 2. I'm just saying, man, it's only week 2. We'll see. I don't want to be right. Listen. A lot of times when I make, little predictions or looking at the future, or analyzing what's going on today, try to figure out what's going to happen tomorrow and all that stuff, it doesn't mean I want it to happen. Please understand. I don't want it to happen. Most of the time, I don't want anything to do with it. But I'm just telling you what I think. I'm not always right. I get that. But, I don't want to be right here either. That's what I'm saying to you. Alex says, I honestly think the retribution has something to do with CM Punk. Alex, I will say to you, my friend, what I've said to everybody for the past 6 years it's been now since Punk's been gone, right? Wow, has it been that long? Yikes. The day I see CM Punk standing in the middle of a WWE ring, it's the day I will believe it. I'm just saying. Who will take over WWE when Vince will no longer be able to perform his duties? There's always been speculation on that, Mike. The most obvious choice is Hunter. But at the same time, there have been other people to speculate that the McMahon family could actually sell the company, that they would stay on board, but they would sell controlling interest in the company to someone else if and when Vince passes. I don't know. We'll see. Keith says timing was weird, but Keith Lee could work if they try not to bury him down the card quickly. Can look past the crappy entrance music and goofy ring attire. He was on Twitter last week after all the backlash, no pun intended, over his his music and stuff. And the tweet something to the effect of, music is out of my hands. I'll do what I can, patience or something to that effect. So yeah, he was, he's between a rock and a hard place. You have to believe that the money's better on the main roster than it is in NXT. Obviously, you want to feel like that a guy or gal's worked their way up, moved their way up, and deserves a better payday. I get it. But, at the same time, you have to think about what's best for that man or woman on the main roster. What can they do that would make the most sense for them, for their character, for everyone involved? It's not always the same thing, man. The payday doesn't often equate to the most logical piece of booking. We've seen some of the top guys in this business get paid extremely well, and it's horrible booking, horrendous. Do you know what I mean? They throw money at it, and they just, in their minds, it looks amazing. It looks fantastic. It's epic. It's great. We watch it from home going, what is going on? Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things where there's two different ways of looking at it, I suppose. Tom says if something happens to Vince, my vote, Tom Clark takes over the company. Brother, they wouldn't want me in any capacity, and it's all good. So, besides, if I did that, who would do this show? Shane says, you hear about USA Network talking to McMahon about moving NXT to a different night. The dirt sheets are speculating on it. Other podcasts are speculating on it. But sometimes, Shane, speculation suddenly becomes, hey, I heard the network is doing X, Y, and Z. Not that that's the case here. I mean, I don't know. It would make the most sense for them to want to move NXT. But again, this is WWE, folks. What makes sense and what they actually do, a lot of times, two different things. Alex says it'll be good for CM Punk to come back. Would it, though? Good for who? For us? But would it be good for him? You know what I mean? Now, look, CM Punk and I are not best bros. I've never even met the guy. But I've been a fan for a long time. Probably always will be. I got a crazy amount of respect for this dude. When he left on his terms because the time was right. He was beat up. He was hurt. He was sick. He was frustrated. He was tired. He was fatigued. He was all the above and a whole lot more. I mean, I would say he's the happiest and healthiest he's ever been in these past 6 years of his entire life, more than likely. Why put yourself back into a toxic situation? It's like going back to an ex. If you got out and bettered yourself and bettered your situation, and you're in a better spot today than you were when you dumped that person, why in the world would you ever go back to them? Makes no sense. So if you look at it in those terms, would you go back to a toxic ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend? I'm just asking a question, man. Heel Roman versus face Seth is a money's that featured at WrestleMania. Want to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Hope see SmackDown Roman Reigns suit tie. All righty. Heel Roman versus face Seth. We'll see. Seth's pretty good heel, man. Christopher's here. What's up, Chris? Thanks for hanging out. Will says, what do you think of Raw Underground? Will, I got one word for you. That's your word. Terrible. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. Hey, look, if it entertains you and you get something out of it, go with God, but I'm personally not a fan. Check this out. Look who's asleep behind me. Right here. He's asleep, baby. He's hanging out with me today in the office. So, yeah. Yeah, man, I don't care about that whole... Listen, either be pro wrestling or don't. I'm just saying, well, listen, Tom, you can't hate on them for trying something different. But it's not pro... I want pro wrestling. Tom, we're going to make this feel like a fight. Make the pro wrestling feel like a fight. Tom, we're going to do something different. Do it in the ring. Tom, we're going to... I don't want to hear it. I get it. I get what everyone says. I don't care. For me personally, Raw Underground is not the answer. That's me talking. You're telling me that these quick 20-second fights where Shane jumps in, all right, that's enough. So they couldn't have done that in the ring? So 10-minute matches could have been over in 20 seconds? Had they just been allowed to brawl? and not even pull hair, bite, or scratch, or, low blow? What? What? Do you see what I'm saying? If you see confusion, there's good reason for that, because it makes no sense. Makes no sense. Yes, let's see. Brad, where are you? Brad said it's going to take some time off. That is the rumor, yes. Alex says one of the reasons I've gone off Raw is cause of the underground. Well, there you go. Sean, don't discount it yet. Don't be surprised when Dominic ends up with the mask. I think he will. Why wouldn't he? I think that's pretty cool. I think he should do it. Shane says, I hate that WWE broke up the Iconics. Where is Nate Dogg at? My good friend Nathan Workman, a.k.a. Nate Dogg. He should be here. He's a huge Iconics fan. He is, he's like, you will rue the day that you broke up the Iconics. Key says, I would say Retribution is a bunch of NXT call-ups, and they should include Undisputed Era and have Adam Cole should be revealed as the actual eventual leader, and they could bring back the hacker storyline. Could also include Sonya Deville, I suppose. You guys are much more excited about or for the Retribution thing than I am. I promise you that. All right, let's get on to the next thing, shall we? Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, the rematch for the WWE Championship. Drew won the match this past Monday Night Raw against Keith Lee and Seth Rollins. He is on his way to, I guess, his Clash of Champions, yes, versus Drew D-Mac, for the WWE Championship. How much do you care about this match? They have good matches together. Randy's extremely good in the ring. We know his pedigree. We know he's capable of. McIntyre's always been good, and he's improved so much over the years. And he, he's earned his spot in the business, no doubt about it. So, yeah, man, what do you guys think about this? Are you good with it? Do you not care about it? I think it's going to be I don't know about 5-star match, but I think it'll be up there. I think it's going to be fun. I think it'll be entertaining. So, yeah. What are you guys thinking about this? Shannon, talking about the Iconics, says Peyton is a breakout star. Oh, yeah, for sure. Because Billy Kay is 2 words. Hot garbage. No disrespect. I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about the character / wrestler. I don't know if I can call her a wrestler. Woo. It's not pretty, kids. It's not pretty. Same. Brendan says, not a fan, but Orton is going over. I see it now. I agree with you. I think Randy Orton ends up with the championship here. And that will make him 14-time, 15-time world champion. Yeah, dude. It's up there, isn't it? Carlos says, make it a steel cage match. Yeah, could be. Keith says there was an article stating that the Drew Orton feud will continue until Survivor Series. Keith, take that article for what it's worth. We don't know anything right now. Trust me, as a former full-time writer, unless you're behind the scenes or have a very, very, very reliable contact behind the curtain, everyone's just speculating. That's all any of us have ever done, despite what anyone tells you. We're all putting forth our best guess, there it is, and best analysis, because it's all we've got. Doesn't mean you shouldn't read. By the way, WrestlingRumors.com is where it's at. That's the truth. But I'm just being honest, man. It's our best speculation, our best guess, our best analysis. That what you just told me may end up being right. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Alyssa says Seth Rollins' new gimmick sucks. I'm kind of bored with it, if I'm being honest. Shannon says Orton is 14 times tied with Triple H. There you go. Yeah. Orton is going to be on par with Cena before he leaves WWE. I don't see Orton leaving anytime soon, to your point. Shane says, I hate when WWE promotes a match and does not deliver. The NXT 4-way should have ended with a new champ. Instead, we have to wait another week. I hate the booking. Shane, you and a lot of other people, same page for sure. Orton versus Cena Mania next year. Winner beats Flair's record. Could be. Sean says, I'm happy for the half-face makeup lady. Talking about Thunder Rosa. She's not in AEW. She just wrestled a match this past Dynamite against Serena Deb. Serena Deb? Yeah. Deeb? Yeah. Serena from the Straight Edge Society, CM Punk. How cool was it to see? Man, she's so good. I can't tell you this was the best match of the year, but it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. These two went at each other as fierce and as hard-hitting as two men that I've ever seen. I mean, they totally brought it in this match for sure. And Thunder Rosa is very, very good. But Serena is, she's always been a favorite, man, especially from the Straight Edge Society. It's fun stuff. Sean says, great match will be Mox and MJF. We're going to get there, I promise you. Brennan says, no, let Flair's record stay. I happen to agree with you on that sentiment. Don't touch Nate. Well, Cena's tied him. How about that? Let's talk about ratings, kids. This week, when I say this week, I mean this past Friday Night SmackDown. As you guys know, today's Friday. Duh. Let's all use our heads. You got it, right? This past week, SmackDown, 2.181 million. This past Monday, Raw, 1.89 million versus last week, SmackDown was 2.168 million. Raw 2.028 million. So there's your numbers, your ratings for Raw and SmackDown. What's your thoughts, man? I don't see there being a whole lot of, Raw goes up, Raw goes down, Raw goes up, Raw goes down. SmackDown's gone up. SmackDown seems to be holding somewhat. If tonight's SmackDown is back down below 2 million, then, what does that tell you? Do you know what I mean? That will tell you that, just like Raw, it's up and down all the time. I know that a lot of you don't care about the ratings and stuff. If I told you that I care about it 24/7, I'd be lying. I don't. But I pay attention to it for the fact of I like to know where things are. I like to know where things are going and where they've been before because it's just basically curiosity's sake. And you can see trends developing over time. Mike says, your personal opinion on AEW so far, what do you like about it? What would you like to see them improve on? My biggest complaint with AEW has been what it's always been. They expect the audience at home watching on TV to know who everyone is. And a lot of people don't. I will have, because people in my life away from the podcasting world and the pro wrestling and all this stuff, people in my life outside of this will say things like, Tom, I watched some wrestling the other night and I don't know what it was, but they had this guy on there and Jericho's on there and some other dudes and there's other dudes and that Shield guy's there. I hear it all the time. And I'm thinking, you should know who these guys' names are just by watching one show. They should stand out to you to the point that you know what their names are. But the fact is they don't. You want to know why? Because a lot of times that company expects everyone at home watching to know who these people are. And most time they don't. If they're just casual turning the dial viewers, they don't know who any of these guys are. I don't think AEW has done such a great job on educating its audience, on educating the audience in general as to who all these talents are. And that's on them. That's their fault. That's their doing. It's a shame it's like that. I wish it wasn't like that, but that's my biggest complaint with them. I thought this past Dynamite wasn't the best show I've ever seen. I don't think it was as bad as some other people are making it out to be. This is the worst episode of Dynamite ever, pal. Okay. Your opinion. I don't think it was that bad. My God. I don't think it was their best moment, if I'm being straight. That's how I view it. But yeah, I think in terms of where they're at now versus when they started, I think they're doing fine. You know what I mean? TNT seems to be very happy with them, which is a big indication of how they're doing because they're kicking some money up, right? So yeah, you know what? If the network's happy, if Khan is happy, and if everyone's on their game and everything's going great behind the scenes, they seem to be in pretty good shape. And by the way, these are all pluses for the wrestling business, not just for AEW fans. Quentin, AEW got a tag team that doesn't get airtime, Angelico and Jack Evans. Quentin, they've got a good tag team. Dude, I love Angelico, by the way. And Lucha Underground, shut up. That stage dive off the top, like the balcony, the stage up top into the ring, shut up. That was death-defying, man. Shane says, I love how AEW is booking Adam Page. He'll be a future champion. Well, look, since we're talking about AEW, let's look at the All Out preview. Here are your matches for All Out. Yes, it's this Saturday, September 5th. Britt Baker with Rebel. Have they decided what her name is? Because I get conflicting reports. I've got people behind the scenes telling me one thing, and then on TV they say it's something else. Versus Big Swole. What's your thoughts on Big Swole? You know what's weird? A lot of times when I ask what's your thoughts on something, it sounds like I'm getting ready to trash somebody. If you're going to call yourself Big Swole, look, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that she's not in great shape. She is. But dude, she's Big Swole. Is she really though? I don't know. Is that something weird to get hung up on? Is that my hill to die on? They got a guy named Orange Cassidy, for crying out loud. Should I just let that go? Maybe I should. I don't know, dude. Tell me if you think that's just me being nitpicky. Rebel. Bit says it's Rebal. That's not how they're spelling it. They're spelling Rebel. So, yeah. Brock is a free agent, Sean. And the stuff with Brett, I'm not sure. There seems to be a falling out there between him and WWE. Okay, also on the All Out card, we've got Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in a Broken Rules match. If Hardy loses, he's gone. And by the way, Britt and Big Swole is a tooth and nail match. We'll see what that means. The Dark Order of Brody Lee and Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson versus Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares of Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall. 8-man tag team match. Darby Allin versus Lance Archer. All right, this is a good one. 21-man casino battle royal. Ready? Darby Allin versus Lance Archer. Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, The Butcher, Blade, Eddie Kingston, Shawn Spears, Billy, Austin Gunn, Jake Hager, Santana Ortiz, Chuck Taylor, Trent, and others. Everybody got that? That is your Casino Battle Royale. Winner receives a future AEW World Championship match. I think Darby in that one. Maybe. We'll see. Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa, singles match for AEW Women's World Championship. Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus FTR with Tully Blanchard for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy and Mimosa Mayhem match. Match can be won by pinfall, submission, or throwing the opponent into a tank of mimosa. Only Chris Jericho, baby. And then, of course, at the end of the show, big time main event. Mox versus MJF with the Wardlow. Yes, like the Grimace. He's the Wardlow for the AEW World Championship. So what do you guys think about this? What is your opinions? What are your opinions? Ray says Ricky Starks is a stud, big fan. I could see him winning a belt. Starks is very good. Will says China was Big Swole. Oh, man. Well done, Will. Brad talking about Big Swole, really? Yeah. Sean says, will Lars come back? Sean, do you care about him? Did Lars Sullivan show you anything? I'm not bagging on you. I'm just asking you an honest question. Did Lars Sullivan show you anything? Just asking. I don't know if he's going to come back or not. You think if he could have, he would have. Didn't he get hurt in the meantime and he's out? That's why he's still out. So, yeah. Keith says Matt Hardy loses, goodbyes to the WWE and reunited with his brother Jeff to win the tag titles one last time before both retiring. I don't know, Keith. Isn't he happy in AEW? Isn't this the same guy that said that, that the company was not listening and all this other stuff? He seems to be perfectly happy. I think when the time comes and it's time for Matt Hardy to hang it up, just hang it up wherever he wants to. I get what you're saying would seem like, perfect, like karma, perfect way for him to wind down his career, but I don't know how I feel about that. I say whatever makes the guy happy is kind of where I'm coming from on this. You know what I mean? Timothy says, Tom, looking forward to seeing this pay-per-view matches tomorrow night. I'm going to check it out too. Alex says, looking forward to the Casino Battle Royale. Also the Broken Rules match, but should have done whoever loses leaves. Yeah, that's different. Alyssa says, is Brock Lesnar going to AEW? Alyssa, I don't think they can cough up enough money to pay Brock what Brock would want. It's my opinion. Mike says, as much as I love Mox, I see an upset, and I think MJF would win the title. It certainly seems to be that's how they're building this thing, that Mox is uber confident, basically he's giving MJF no chance, which kind of sounds like MJF is winning. I'm with you. I'll go out on a limb and say that I think that Mox drops the title tomorrow night. Chances of most of mayhem, you love to see it. We'll see what happens. It's interesting. Dennis is going with Archer to win the Casino Battle Royale. He's the next to challenge Mox. He's done it already. Would you rather see a different match? Robbie says, ask Tom. No, this is, he's got a hashtag ask Tom. That's nice. No, this is off top, but here's a GM head scratcher. You have seen some dynamic Japanese wrestling as well as some awesome luchadors as well and some amazing cruiserweights. If you can name anyone dead or alive, Toby's hit me with a big one. Dead or alive is the greatest high-flying acrobatic wrestler. Greatest high-flying acrobatic wrestler? I don't know. Liger. If you got to put me on the spot and I don't have time to think about it, I'll say Liger. I got to see Liger on his retirement tour when he came to the States, and he worked for PWX here in the States in Charlotte. It was great. It was great. It was such a chill-inducing moment to see that guy. Very, very good stuff. I'll always be a Jushin Thunder Liger fan. Don't think Lance versus Moxley. Yeah, it has. Yes, it has. Someone tell me if I'm crazy. Yeah, they've already faced off for the World Championship. Well, they faced off in New Japan for IWGP United States Championship. Interesting. What was making me think that? Oh, it was Cody, wasn't it? Was it Cody and Archer that face off? I swear I thought these two guys worked in AEW. Maybe they haven't. Yeah. I watch a lot of wrestling, kids. So, yeah, they faced off in New Japan. Well, there you go. Maybe it could happen. Maybe it could happen. I'll go with that. Why not? I'll go with that. Oh, Mike, these guys are killing me with these evergreen questions. Who's on your personal Mount Rushmore of wrestling? Okay, this is the last evergreen question I'm answering until we get to the open floor. You got it? Mount Rushmore wrestling. Rick, Dusty, Austin. Yikes. That fourth one's a little tough for me. Rick does hear my dog. He's dreaming. Rick, Dusty, Austin. God, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That fourth one might have to wait for a bit. I don't know if I got a fourth one right now. Whew, that's hard, man. That's hard. All right, that's the last one. Yeah, that's the three I got for you right now. So, Ricardo says, do you think AEW's tag team division being so deep that some teams will get lost and not get opportunities to be champs? Yeah, but I don't see them losing opportunities to wrestle for the opportunity to become champs. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? I see that happening. Because if I feel like all their tag teams have gotten, some great attention so far, some good booking. Shane says, I like to see Mox versus Brody Lee, title versus title. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that, I guess, but I don't care for title unification stuff, man. Either have your belts or don't have them. You know what I mean? Yes, I know. Cody and Archer. Yeah, I know that part. Yeah. Yeah. He's going to team up with Dustin and QT Marshall versus Dark Order. Yeah. Let's see. Alyssa says, John Moxley, AW title, Phil WWE champion. No one gives. Oh, Alyssa, language. No bad language here on the show, folks. Keep it PG, please. Mike, it's all good, my friend. No worries. Toby says, Kenny, FTR, Spears, and with Tully as the new horseman, I'm speaking it to happening. Well, brother, if you could speak that to happening, I could use some money. So loan me some bucks there, Toby. Speak it into happening. A lot of stuff I'd like to get to, and being filthy, stinking rich is one of them. So I need some lunch, man. You know it's after 12, right? You guys know what time it is? All right, so All Out. What do you guys think about the All Out card? Are you looking forward to it? Is it something you're actually going to watch? I'm going to drop the money to see it. AEW pay-per-views are not cheap, so, but it should be fun. I don't think I've not really been disappointed by any of their shows yet so far. By the way, I'm watching Kenny Omega get interviewed in the ring, and he's wearing a T-shirt of who is that on this T-shirt? Yeah, and he's got like pink shorts on. You know, remember when Kenny used to look like a star in New Japan all the time? And now not so much. Hey, look, I'm just calling it like I see it. That's just kind of my opinion on this thing. Do you think Hangman Omega will drop the tag team title belts? Yes, I do. I think FTR are your new tag team champions. Brad says he's going to be watching All Out. There you go. Yeah, like I said, man, I've not been disappointed with any of their events so far. Joshua says it might be a pretty good card by the sounds of it on paper. I agree with you. Okay, let's talk about ratings again real quick. Last week, AEW, and again, they were on two different nights last week, right? AEW was Thursday night. Was Thursday night last week? Or was that, AEW was Thursday night last week, or was it Saturday night? Thursday night, right? AEW 813,000 viewers, NXT 842,000, right? This week, AEW 928,000 viewers, and NXT 849,000 viewers. So there you go. Again, we don't focus a lot on ratings here, but we do mention them. We do talk about them. Do you see a heel turn for the Young Bucks? Could you see them turning on Kenny Omega? Shane says, yeah, I do. Why not? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but yeah, I could see it happening. Timothy says, good to see fans last Wednesday on AEW. Yeah, and they were on this past Wednesday as well. So, yeah. I miss going to the shows. I've got Facebook memories popping up of me and my kid going to all those shows last year. I miss it. I do. I miss HVW. I miss my own pro wrestling company being in action. You know, but guess what? There's not a lot we can do right now. You know what I mean? Everyone's trying to be safe and healthy and smart, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to do with the world being the way it is right now. So, you know what? I mean, listen, just call it like you see it, man. You're either among those people out there, and that's me being very nice, who believe that this is not real. You it doesn't matter what you do. You can't prevent it. Okay, sure. And the earth's flat and we never landed on the moon. How about that? Or you're among the rest of us who listen to actual science and say, we need to try to prevent this thing from spreading. I want life to get back to normal, but we got to do it the right way, at the right pace. Yes, I want to go back to live wrestling. I miss it. Just saying. Mike says, Heyman and Page drop the titles and Omega joins FTR. They make it seem like Page will turn, but it'll be a swerve if Omega ends up being the one who turns. Yeah, it would. I'm watching the spot right now with FTR and Omega in the middle of the ring. They offered him a chocolate milk. And Tully's on the outside of the ring getting him this look. It's so good. It's so good, dude. Great stuff. Looking at him like, what's your problem, pal? Tully is still so good on the mic, dude. Are you kidding me? He and Arm both. Talk about leading promo class. Are you kidding me? Good stuff. Mike says, wouldn't surprise me in the least bit. Yeah, for sure. Timothy says, did you hear fans singing the Chris Jericho song? Yeah. Yeah, that's the part about, again, the live crowd. What you're missing about the live crowd is the live crowd interaction, right? That's what you're missing. It does take away from the product watching at home on TV. It does. Folks, it's your favorite part of the show. It's the bit where you get to just say whatever you want to without working blue, okay? It's the open floor. We're going to wind down the show today with the open floor. Hit me with whatever you got. Shane, I thought it was great. I'm a monstrous comic book fan. I have been my entire life. I'm a monstrous Marvel fan. Anyone watching or listening to the show right now knows that this is not the only podcast I have. I also run another show called Tom Clark's 6M Podcast, which focuses on movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. And we cover basically everything. Right now it's me and my co-host Greg Ramsey. He and I are working together Today, later today, we're going to record the 23rd episode of the show. We are 3 episodes published right now. The first one was the NWO. The second was the Hulk. The third one was Metallica. The fourth one is going to be announced later today. Immediately after this show today, kids, go to my Facebook page, zip on over. I'm going to do the episode number 4 reveal on my Facebook page. Please go check it out as soon as we go off the air today. Please and thank you. There you go. So, Chadwick Boseman, I'm a huge fan. I love Black Panther. It was terrible to see the news. All the best to him and his family. Deepest condolences to the friends, family, and fans of Chadwick Boseman. Just a great guy. Great guy. Ray says, let's talk NXT. Adam Cole is incredible, and he's winning the best next week. What a great match. And he's staying. I think Finn wins. Ray, don't hate me, brother, but that's just what I feel right now. I think that that Finn Balor is your new AEW champion. Excuse me, AEW champion. That's good stuff. I'm watching the show. My bad. I think he's a new NXT champion. But I've been wrong before. Timmy says, what match will steal the show tomorrow night, in your opinion? I think FTR and Paige and Omega could steal the show for sure. Have you heard anything about Velvet Sky or doing anything on Charlotte? No, I follow Velvet Sky on social media, but to my knowledge, there's been nothing major happening. Toby says, just to clarify, the Fiend is not buried. Stop saying that. He's still a top character in the company. Of course he is. Yeah, no, he's not buried. Nah, not at all. And Toby, I've said this on the show many, many times in the past, and you guys know this, right? I don't consider anyone buried if they're on TV. If they're on TV and they're getting publicity and they're selling merch, they're cutting promos, they're getting spotlight, they're on more than one segment, they're in main event matches, how in the world is that getting buried? I'm sorry. I just don't see that. You know what getting buried is? You're not being on TV. Now, I know there's different levels to it. You can make the case for, well, Tom, if they have a guy and they just want to crap on him, they'll put him on TV and they'll make him look weak and small like they did with, the Revival. They did, okay? And they really, shoveled the dirt on those guys. I get it. I know what you're saying. But again, I don't know. It's an odd thing for me, in my opinion. Like, again, folks, if you're on TV and you're getting any amount of spotlight at all, I mean, how in the world are you getting buried? I don't know. I'm sure everyone's got their own opinion on that. Robert says, I listened to the NWA episode and it was awesome. Send prayers to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yes, The Rock and his family are recovering from COVID, and word is they're okay. Everyone listen to Robbie because he evidently has subscribed and downloaded what? Tom Clark 6M podcast. I can't thank you guys enough, by the way, for watching and listening to this show. The main event's been going since 2014. We more than tripled our downloads from July to August. Actually quadrupled, if I'm being honest. We had 600 more downloads for August than we did July. Thank you so much. However, I'm also trying to get the 6M podcast off the ground. So please, the show is available, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and the YouTube. So please go check it out. I'd be very humbled if you did. And we cover everything. Everything. You name it, we cover it. Let's see. Shane says, I'm hopeful Mickie James wins the Raw Women's title. She is still great. She's very good. Yeah. Mickie is one of the all-time greats, for no doubt about it. Toby says, yes, EC3 got buried. Bray's still very much a main event performer. Yeah, there's differences. I'm not going to lie. Oh, it's so tough for me, man, on this one. You know what I mean? Because you know what I think back to when Zack Ryder couldn't get on TV? That's what I think about. When Zack Ryder could not get on TV. That to me is buried. I answered the question that way when that happened. That to me was a guy getting buried. He was putting the work in. He looked good physically. He had the heart for it. He had ideas. He was never on TV. They would do the live shows, Raw and SmackDown. The crowd's chanting, we want Zack. They're chanting Ryder because they want Zack. They're chanting woo, 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 right? But he wasn't on TV. That's buried. That's just how I feel. I get where you're coming from. But again, it's different ways to dissect the word and figure out what's going on and have your own opinion on it. Richard says, do you think the Bayley-Sasha relationship will come to an end tonight? I don't know about tonight, but it does look like that they are ending it. Keith says, Fiend will try to be pushed as SmackDown's top babyface. He'll feud with Roman. But Keith, can you envision the Fiend as the top babyface? I guess he could. It's WWE, man. Do you know what I mean? We'll see. I thought I heard something about Charlotte possibly being out until after. Well, anything's possible, Mike. Anything's possible. But, even if she was, why not just have her cut a promo or something? Do you know what I mean? Ray says, if Cole loses to Finn, I'll cry. He must go to main roster, win the belt. Brother, don't hold your breath about Adam Cole in the main roster winning a belt. Oh, my God. Another ring endorsement. This time, Miss Lopez. I love your 6M podcast. I recommend. Miss Lopez, you're awesome. You're awesome. And I love you. You're the best. Please, everyone, listen to Miss Lopez. She's gave me a ring and endorsement. Miss Lopez, feel free to share the pod on your page. That'd be awesome. You don't have to. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. We have fun on the 6M pod for sure. James says, I still can't believe WWE let Curtis Axel go. He's the son of Mr. Perfect. After all, he should have been world champion at least once. I don't know about the world champion bit, and I don't know about the thing about, well, he's Mr. Perfect's son. How about the fact that he's very good? How about when Rock came back to train for his match with Cena, he wanted to train with Curtis Axel? What's that say? Just asking. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Instead of WWE, they can turn anyone face or heel. Keith, you're right. But it doesn't mean it's a good idea, and it doesn't mean it'll work. That's the caveat. Robbie says, will you and your co-host appear on camera on the 6M pod? I don't know, man. My co-host is not exactly tech savvy. He got the internet recently. Let me say that again. He's my age. He got the internet last week. Last week, 2020. I'm not even making that up. And Greg, if you're listening, wow. It's crazy, right? Not very tech savvy. Never say never. We'll see. Toby says, I wonder if they're looking to the Fiend and Bliss as a Joker Harley Quinn type do. Why not? Why not? No, Chris, I've got nothing on Kelly Klein, brother. When I do, you'll be the first one to know. I promise you. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate you, man. Sal says AEW was a great show. I can't say I thought it was a great show, but I was good. I was okay with it. Shane says, I like your 6M podcast, but main event is my pick for the best podcast ever. What the good God, Shane. You're awesome, brother. Thank you. But call 6M your number 2, yes? Chris, very welcome. So we're coming up on the hour. Before we sign off here today, I want to remind everyone to please continue to follow me on the social media. I'm on Twitter, right here on Facebook as well. If any of you are watching the show are not friends of mine on the Facebook, please send me a friend request. If you can't find me, send it via Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger. Tell me, hey, Tom, it's me. I will send you a request. Accept it. We can be bros for life. I promise you. Okay? So please do that. I'm also on Instagram. Feel free to follow me there. I'm also asking that you keep supporting the main event here on Wrestling Rumors. Please check out Wrestling Rumors page. Really, really good folks over there. Thanks much to Heidi Ryan, the whole crew, the whole gang at the website for helping us along the way and allowing us to do the show live here on the Facebook. So in the meantime, again, I'm going to remind you about the 6M pod, Tom Clark's 6M podcast. And please, folks, immediately after this show, if you've never watched me do this, please, it won't take longer than 10, 15 minutes, I promise you. Zip on over to my own personal Facebook page. We're going to do the episode 4 reveal for next week's episode 4 of the show. And I'm going to reveal the episode today. Well, guess what, kids? I'm getting out of here. I want to thank everybody, as always, for showing up, for giving us your love, for giving us your time of day. It means loads to me. And I hope everybody has the best weekend ever. Enjoy All Out tomorrow. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and everything in between. Thanks again for watching. We're getting out of here. Be good. Tom Clark's main event.